Sanbonani, Sitholelo, and I'm back with another video. So yeah, this is part two of is it true that South African are lazy? So part one I've been talking about where it come from during apartheid, the first generation during apartheid, what we were taught, education is a key to success, less skilled people, more immigrants from different countries with those skills that they've acquired while we were still fighting for our freedom. Um, so yeah, I've talked about like how other mechanics and builders like really lost their jobs to to most of the foreigners. So yeah, uh, okay. So then let's go forward. Then let's go to the shops, the Pakistan shops, the Somali shops. So I don't know if I mentioned that. So we had black businesses, black businesses, black spazas used to also give back to the community, but they weren't as many as they are now. Like the way Somalis just make their market to be vast, and I'm gonna give them a clap for that. But let me tell you how they took all this puzzle shop in their hands. So firstly, okay, they came and they were cheap. Okay, people starting to buy on Pakistan shops and also on black businesses. But the people were flocking to the Somali shops so much because of the prices were cheaper. So let me give you an example. If you could buy a bread by maybe 15 rands, the normal price, in the Pakistan shop you'd buy it by 13 rands. So that's a counterfeit good. It's not cheap because they stock in bulk or something. No, no. We find out later that these were counterfeit goods. We only thought maybe there was a place they used to stock at that we didn't know where they got these cheap. So they are the new markets. So we flocked to their side. Without the knowledge, remember, we've never experienced these type of things like the counterfeit food. Okay, firstly we saw the counterfeit the counterfeit clothes. But okay, we got used to it. Then it had a bigger market. And it has a bigger market now, the counterfeit clothes. Maybe you saw the videos where they confiscate, they would catch like 2 billion rands of counterfeit goods. So you see that's too much money. Then they came to food counterfeit good. Then we didn't know. Then when time goes, when kids started to be ill, and these people don't even give back to the community, and they start killing our South African people, they starting to get confident, they started to get pride, they started to be above the law. They would pay our police if we try to, you know. I also blame our police, you know. I blame our police for this one, and I blame the Pakistan, because they are the one who did it. Let's not leave people who are perpetrators then only blame victim. I also blame us as victim. How did we let it happen? We are the one with the power, but like I said, the only part I understand is that we didn't know. We just thought maybe it's, in fact, we thought they are Indians when they first came. We thought they were Indians. Okay, when time went, we knew that we started talking to them. We knew that they were Somali. Oh, okay, because most of Indians in South Africa have shops like the jewelry shops, the spices shops. So we thought maybe they are expanding to. So it wasn't a big deal until we communicated and started to know they are. Oh, then these people took off every black business off markets because they sell counterfeit good at a lower price, and they are in each and every corner. You could find them in each and every corner. That's a market we never saw before. That's one I'm gonna give them to them. Like, they've created the markets that we never knew. That's the market we never knew. So our people can't compete anymore unless we compete fairly. And fairly is competing with the real price, like the real, not price, the real products. We don't care about the price, we care about the products. So we can compete fairly, because this is not a competition. So how do you call South African lazy? Because this is not competition anymore. This is, it's not fair game if the other one only cares about profits and doesn't care about the people. The other one cares about the people and also care about the profits because of, this is my community. I can't kill these people. You know. So there's a difference. There's a difference. So then when time goes now, it's the market, it's strictly for them. It's strictly for them. You can't go into that market because you will lose. It's a loss. You will lose. They selling counterfeit products. So do you call it lazy again if we're trying to take our economy in our streets? We Nobody's playing fair game with us. We tackle through. Nobody plays a fair games with us. There's no fair game because, like I told you, we came from apartheid. We didn't know the skills. Our government, I also blame it because of it didn't play fair game with us, teaching us about skills while teaching us um about education theories and everything, but also promotes skills at the younger age because of we didn't know, how they pushed it like you are handicapped, you you you're not mentally. That's why kids were not upfront talking about, like, I would like to do welding because of how they presented themselves. uh, they would come in school and say, if you are a kid and you see that you're not good at school, you're not clever, you're not like other kids. No, you see, now already they come in exclusion. But if they came in inclusion, they would say, people who are interested in know how welding works and building, why are beams like this, like they would make us understand why I see this billboard like this, because welding, it was, now I start to get interested. Sorry. So how they marketed it, they marketed school like it's there. Then other things like it's the lower class, and nobody wanted the lower class. So that's why the blue collar was undermined. That's why the skills were, thrown under the carpet. So let's go to the workforce. Now to the workforce, you try to get a job. You work wherever you work. And the contract says you get in this time, you go out that time. Okay, you get in at 8 a.m., you knock it at 8 p.m. Now at 8 p.m. you start doing other things. You knock in at 12 to 1 p.m. Then go back home. You arrive at home at about 2 to 3 a.m. You wake up at 6, 7 a.m. You come on, come on. I've once experienced what I'm talking about. I was working in retail shop. So the money wasn't okay. And I was willing to work. I was willing to work. But I was working to write a text and I never slept. I slept like 3 hours. So it was a lose situation for me. And I once worked at being a gardener, maintenance. I was maintaining, so when they say we are lazy, I was maintaining. But I knew I wanted something for myself. I knew I wanted to be a trader. I wanted to fund my things. I knew that, okay, sharp. I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a teacher. If I teach, I prefer teaching what I love to teach, not what school system tell me to teach. That's why I teach what I teach right now, because I like to teach what I like to teach, what I have passion to teach. So started, funding my stuff, things like that. But the problem, we were surrounded by illegal immigrants. So these companies, how can you compete with a company that hires illegal immigrant that don't have a trade union? So they won't complain. If they abuse them, they overuse them, they do whatever to them, they can't complain. How can you compete with that person? Then they call you lazy. Then these white people and other employees, even black, they call black people lazy because of they wanna exploit them. They see that other people are easily exploited, because they're not easily exploited, they just desperate. So they want us to be more desperate so that we can stoop lower. The people that gets those jobs, where we're trying to make sure we negotiate well, because of this is our country. We can't work like slaves. We can't work like slaves. So if we can't work like slaves, that's why we have trade unions. So but if they hiring illegal immigrants, no trade union, less money, more job, it's a win for a company. Who if I was a crooked businessman, I would hire them too. No complaints, no trade union, no nothing. South African complain. They complain about the work you put them into because it's not in a description. They complain about the wages because they have families to feed, because they have things to fund. They are not slaves. They complain about over unpaid overtime. Who wants up unpaid overtime? Why don't I just knock off and do my other things? Because of, why should I be here and paid for you to grow your company that I got nothing to do, that I have no shares? So what's in for me? Why at the time, if I get in at 8, I'll be there at 8 and do my thing. And if I knock off at 5, when it's a ding 5, I'm out. I don't debate with no one because I don't need no extra time. My extra time, I'll put it in my things, in things that I want, in skills that I wanna build, because I realized that without skills, with only education, like we're teaching our kid to get educated, it's gonna be hard. So before you judge South African, you should know that, like, we've been played around, we've been kicked around. We're trying to get in here. That's why it's easy for South Africans to be hooked on drugs. We're in a prosperous country. Our country is rich, very, very rich. Let me tell you something. South Africans are resilient. Like, through this whole thing, we've been kicked around and passed around, but we still have the mindset that we're gonna get what's ours, what we deserve in this world. Because of, you see, from part one, I've shown you where it started during the apartheid, after apartheid, um, then when foreigners came, when South Africans were looking for jobs, and when dropouts happened, you know, when, and other things that happened through dropouts is absence of fathers in black communities, is which I've covered, which I'll make a video specific about the absence of father in South Africa, how it has ruined South African people, black South African, and how we can fix it. Because I'm not the person who like to talk about the problems. I have solutions too. So when I talk, I've already think about it, that this has a solution. It has to have a solution, because of, at the end of the day, the first solution is acceptance. It's knowing who you are, knowing that you have fucked up background, knowing that you came from the dirt. you know I've seen a video by people criticizing people because they are proud of staying in the shack. Yeah, I'm proud of wherever I am. I could be in the dungeon, I'd still be me. I'm not defined by the shack. I'm not defined by the big house. I'm not defined by the. It still doesn't make me myself. Okay, I like nice life. I like everything. I like all those things everybody like, but it still doesn't make me me. It still wouldn't be me. So I still be myself and still be proud in the darkest dungeon of the piggiest. I don't know what's the deadliest word I can use to describe